Brett says, hey, man, love the show. Speaking of love, I need some dating advice. He says, I'm a college football sicko. I watch football 12 hours a day on Saturdays from September to December. This can make dating complicated that time of year, obviously. I've tried making compromises with my last two girlfriends that I'm completely theirs for the rest of the year, and they agree. But when college football season rolls around, they are obviously annoyed that I'm glued to the screen all day. I need 12 Saturdays a year. I feel like that's fair. Am I missing something? Brett. Yes. You're missing something, okay? I'm sorry, but you can't just say that my hobby is going to take me away for 5 months and pound sand, you don't get any time. That's just not sustainable. Now, maybe there's a girl out there for you. Probably a girl that's also a college football sicko that can experience that with you, and you guys can have some enjoyment of that time together. Maybe not the entire time, but some of the time, okay? But it is totally unrealistic of you to think that you are going to find a relationship in which you can tell your significant other, hey, I'm out. Peace out. See you in December. And they're going to be like, yeah, you know what? But he's good the rest of the year. Doesn't happen. That does not happen. And if they tell you that at the onset, run, because they're lying. They are absolutely lying. There's going to come a time when they're like, oh, but my parents are in town and I just want to go to dinner with them. And you're like, hey, it's Tuesday night Maction. I can't do that. And then there's going to be a huge fight. And guess what? The relationship's going to end. So you're doing the right thing by trying to be upfront about this, but you cannot expect that this thing is going to work out for you long term, in particular if they're like, oh, yeah, I'm down for this. You know what? You leave for 5 months a year at your couch doing whatever it is you're going to do, watching all that football, and I'm going to be just fine with it because the rest of the year you're mine. That's not going to work. What happens when you all of a sudden get asked to a bachelor party of one of your buddies and it happens to be April, and then your significant other is like, nope, sorry, this is not your months. And you're going to be like, no, but wait. And she's going to say, no, I agree. This is not sustainable. So here's what I would tell you, college football sicko. Number one, if you are not willing to adjust, then the only possible answer is that you find a relationship that will experience this and enjoy this with you. And if that's not the case, then you're going to have to adjust. You're going to have to say okay, listen, I'm not going to have Tuesday night Maction. I can't catch the Friday night game, the Pac-12 game. I can't stay up till 2 a.m. She wants me to go to dinner or breakfast or whatever it is, right? So you either need to find someone that's going to join you or you need to adjust. So good luck with that, Brett. And honestly, very much looking forward to hearing how this goes for you throughout the rest of your life. All right, next up. Michael says, hey, Joel, since you have been married for 18 years, I'd like to ask you how you knew your wife was the one. Before I got to college, I was a heartbreaker, to say that. Who says that about themselves? Michael, come on, man. You can't say that. I guess you can, and you did. I came to college thinking I'd be with many different girls and living the, quote, college life, but couldn't help falling in love with this one girl. She is truly my best friend. At the age of 19, I am only a few years away from marriage age and want to make sure I don't invest my time into someone who eventually will not be my lifelong partner. So, in your opinion, what are the criteria you believe make up the one? Oh my goodness. So first of all, there was some ridiculousness in there and then a very deep question at the end. So I don't know whether to take you seriously or not, first of all, Michael, but I'm going to take you serious because you ask a serious question at the end. First of all, one, you're not a heartbreaker. If you fall in love at 19 to the point where you think you can be married, then you are by definition not a heartbreaker. You are going to get your heart broken. You are a deep faller, my friend. Okay, so this is just me being honest with you. I've seen this, way too much. Now, I'm really happy for you that you found someone that you feel like is hey, I fell in love with this girl. Good for you. That's phenomenal. Now we get to the more important part of your question, which is what are the criteria you believe make up the one? Now, joking aside, I firmly believe that there are, well, listen, two decisions, but one decision that makes up, like, you want to talk about, like, having a great life? One of the two most important decisions you can make is who you decide to marry. The other one is who you decide to believe in. I'll leave that for another day. My faith is very strong for me. So, like, first and foremost for me is the biggest decision I ever made was to follow Jesus Christ. The second best decision that I ever made was marrying Sarah. The first thing that I would tell you is that you have to be equally yoked when you decide who you're going to marry. Okay? It has to be someone that you share beliefs with, both from a faith standpoint. It would really help if you guys got along politically, in particular in this generation and day and age. If you don't agree politically, I don't know if that's going to work out. So that's something that you need to hash out. You need to talk about how many children you want. You need to talk about how you were raised financially and what you expect financially. These are conversations that I feel like in today's day and age get glossed over, and everyone wants to just get to the feels and be like, oh, they're so handsome, they're so beautiful, I just want to get married. You cannot just get married. Do you understand? Marriage is incredibly difficult because it takes two people committing to one another to become one flesh, and you've got to be equally yoked, and you've got to be equally yoked in every single area. Who you believe, what you believe, how you're going to operate, how many children you want, how you're going to parent. So how do you know if that person is the one? Have those conversations. It's not just a feeling. You can't just look at someone and be like, oh, they make my stomach flutter. Good for you. Talk to me 7 years, 10 years, 18 years in. Is the stomach flutter pretty cool? Yeah, that's still pretty cool. And you want someone that makes your stomach flutter, but it's more important that you marry someone that you're equally yoked to. This is vital. This is vital. So, my biggest advice, have those conversations. What do you believe in? Why? And what do you want out of your life? And if they can be on the same page with you, then you know what? That flutter in your stomach can last 18 years and beyond, which mine did. All right, last one. Hannah. The ladies have chimed in, and I love it. Thank you, Hannah. Listen, and all the ladies that listen to this podcast, ask Kat a question. Kat's got your back. Again, she just got engaged. She's getting married this summer. We can help you. So Hannah chimes in. Hello, Joel. Why did Sarah hate the cross? I am very curious. This is in reference to last mailbag, in which I told the story of my terrible proposal, where I was going to take Sarah to these lights on the mountains just outside of Boulder, and I said it was a cross. And the PTSD in me blocked out what it actually was, and those that live in Boulder still reminded me. I couldn't remember if it was a heart or a cross. It's a star. They put a star of lights up on the mountain. It's not a cross. Thought it was a cross. It's a star. It's a star. Okay. Now, I thought I was going to take Sarah up to the middle of the star. As we're driving up to the star to propose to her, she decides to say, hey, I hate that star. Ugh. Didn't have a plan, went terrible. Go back to the previous episode. Please check out that story because it is quite funny. But why did she hate that cross? Sarah actually led a Young Life group in Boulder. So it's a Christian organization in Boulder in which, like, she would lead, once she was in college, some of the high school kids, and they would do like their small groups and things like that. Well, one of the things that Young Life did was during the winter, during December, when the star got put up on the mountain, is that they would take the kids up to the star because it was like cool and something to do. And she hated it because it was always cold, and she was always babysitting these kids as they were trying to hike to the star. And so as we're driving to the star, those moments are coming back to her, something she never shared with me. Wish that she would have those conversations beforehand, folks. And then she says, I hate that star. Ugh. Needless to say, my proposal is good, only in the sense that it provided a great story afterwards because, yes, she hated the star. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here.
college football on Fox.